Go Pizza presents STP. The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle and Adam Wilde.
If I were to ask, would you be interested in playing hockey with some alumni? Would you be interested in playing hockey with some alumni? NHL alumni?
No, probably
not. They wouldn't
not.
be CFL alumni.
No.
No, eh?
No.
Okay. What if...
Yeah.
Okay, what if those people included Matt Sundin?
Whoa.
Like, you got to play on a line with Matt Sundin.
Do I got to go to Sweden?
No, you don't.
He's here.
Coming to you. He's coming here.
He's coming to me.
Yeah.
He's going to play in Oshawa.
Yeah. Yeah, no, well, I mean, Toronto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like, he's going to come to, an actual city. And
Wow! Wow! Incorrect.
I am kidding.
I don't think you are.
Joining you on this team would be Ty Domi, Curtis Joseph, and Thomas Caberlet.
Okay, very good, very good.
And you would be treated with a welcome reception, a Hall of Fame VIP tour hosted by Glenn Healy and Matt Sundin, tickets to a private event at Wayne Gretzky Estates, a private meet and greet with Matts alongside other LeoVegas.net winners, private event at Wayne Gretzky's restaurant. You get a lunch with all the alumni afterwards.
Pierogies.
A $1,500 flight voucher to Toronto for the winner and guest.
I would take that from Oshawa. That's a lot of flights from Oshawa.
You should take a flight from Oshawa. A $500 Visa card to spend while you're here. Hotel accommodations in Toronto from June 7th to 10th. Transportation to and from the hotel, obviously from from the airport. And you get hockey gear rental if you need. And of course, a commemorative signed photo with Matt Sundin. Would you be interested in all that stuff?
But what do I get? I'm sorry. I just wanted to see if you could do it again.
So here's the deal.
Yeah.
We on the show, along with many, many others, have partnered with LeoVegas.net. They are a gaming website, and they are one of those places that they want to give you a crazy experience. And somehow they've pulled Matt Sundin out of hiding.
Yeah.
I don't know how they did it, but they got him. And we are going to be there on that weekend as well, so we're going to be doing a whole bunch of live stuff and whatever. But right now, it's about you winning the contest.
Where is this?
Dude.
Toronto.
What do you get?
I'm looking at all the information right now.
What do you get?
I just went through all the things that you get.
You know what I like making Adam do? All the important broadcaster stuff and then completely steamrolling it.
Yes, it is my favorite part of the show.
Yeah. So what is Gary Roberts is doing this? Who'd you say?
I said Ty Domi, Matt Sundin, Thomas Caberlet, and Curtis Joseph, and others to be released.
All right, Dion Phaneuf is going to be at this thing, like you said. Mm-hmm. You said that verbatim.
No, I did not say that Leon Phaneuf is going to be there.
I did.
All right, so what weekend is this?
This is the June 7th through 10th.
Did you say that already? I don't think you did.
Yes, I did say that.
I think I'm helping.
Had you been listening,
I think
had
I'm
you guys
helping.
been listening, I'm just saying.
And then how do you get into this contest?
Well, here's the problem. I'm going to insert this after in an edit because they gave me all the information and I'm looking at the sheet. I'm going, wait a second. They have not told me how to enter. So you'll see the edit point right here. And that's how you enter.
Wow, I learned a lot.
You actually
Isn't it
don't
crazy?
know?
What's that?
You actually don't know.
Well, there's a specific URL that you have to go to, but they gave me the breakdown of all the things that they wanted me to say, and then they didn't say how you can enter. So,
You know what's amazing? Adam doesn't know right now, but you watching this, you do know.
you already know,
That's
but I
weird.
don't know, but I knew, but I don't
Crazy,
know.
but you don't know.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Steve Dangle,
Yes.
are you excited for this weekend? Because we're going to be there too.
A little bit.
A little bit?
I'm excited to see Matt's.
Yeah, we're going to talk to him.
That's a thing that you start crossing off players who you want to talk to, and I've been blessed enough to talk to a lot of guys. Matt Sundin was a guy I never thought I would get to meet because he's never here.
Well, and part of this deal is we get to interview him.
Absolutely.
And
positively.
So actually, something I wanted to start too on our Reddit page, #AskMats.
Can I tell everybody how to enter and win so I don't have to edit this?
Sure. Yeah, whatever, man.
All right. So June 7th to 10th at the Delta Toronto Hotel.
There you go.
You can play hockey with all of those wonderful people that Adam
How do you
said.
enter though, Jesse?
And if you want to enter, you go to leovegas.net/promotions, and that'll take you right to the page.
There you go.
Or if you go to leovegas.net, it's right there, and then you hit the link that's next to Matt's face.
So
and then
leovegas.net.
right there, there's all the information on what you're going to win, and then you hit enter here, which I'm doing right now, and all you have to do is enter your full name, and then your email address, and then your mobile phone, and then you hit
playing on his keyboard right now.
and then you confirm that you are 19 years of age.
At least.
And then you hit submit.
And Jesse is the cat from Instagram that typing, or the GIF cat.
So
No, I was actually typing when I was doing all those things.
for sure.
That's how I type.
just to confirm, I have all the details. Leo Komarov has been traded to Vegas.
No.
And
And they also sent a net.
And they sent a net.
A Leo
Like-
Vegas
Like, you know
net.
how they say a bag of pucks?
Right.
Well, you know, where are you going to put that bag of pucks? A net.
If Leo Komarov signs in Las Vegas next year and he scores a goal, that's leovegas.net, is it not?
A little bit. A little bit.
I can't wait for that to happen now. Now we have to cheer for Leo to end up in Vegas so he can score a goal and be leovegas.net.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I'm going to make Adam
So
go
anyway,
bald.
we got lots of
Like
stuff coming
Mets.
up from this that's super exciting that we'll kind of release. And by the way, as more NHL alumni are released, we will tell you more about those NHL alumni. We'll tell you who's getting involved and that sort of thing.
Did you just, but wait, there's more us?
I did. Wow. So, and also, I wanted to start this. I was going to talk about this. Hashtag Ask Matt. So, we're going to start a thread on our Reddit page after the show. We want you to tell us the question that you most would like to ask Matt. Now, if somebody else has a question there that's similar to yours, I'd ask that you maybe upvote their question.
That's a great suggestion that
Right?
no one
Nobody
will
will
You
follow.
say that now,
no,
and it's not going to
So,
happen.
so basically, we're going to pick 3 of the questions, and Matt's might just answer one.
Why do you wear the number 13? Followed by, I've always wanted to know why you wear the number 13. 5 upvotes, 6 upvotes. Love it.
So yeah,
Ask Matt.
something fun. So it's a hashtag Ask Matt's on the Steve Dangle Reddit page. Steve Dangle,
Yes.
you wanted to take you wanted to take us in a direction.
Well, no, I forgot that we had to do this off the top, and I was like, oh, I got a jovial little thing that happened to me on the way here.
Let's hear about it.
I don't know. Okay, so I get in the car after getting some coffee, and I starting to program my music in the parking lot because I don't want to do that while driving because it's illegal. And these 2 girls, I hear them outside of my car, and I see them. They're pointing at me. They're pointing at me, and they're like waving at me. And then they're giving me this. They're giving me the pinky and the thumb, and they're
the gnarly.
And, yeah, but they're holding it up to their mouth, which in road rage terms means, what, are you drunk? And so I'm
But
like,
you were parked.
yeah, I was
How
like,
could that
I
be?
thought they were like, you got your drink on top of your car.
which is what they were trying to tell me.
Yeah.
Sure, there's a coffee on top of my car. And I said, thank you, ladies. And then I put it in my car and came here.
It would have been so much better if you'd been like, yeah, gnarly dudes, and then
Yeah,
like,
gnarly
and drove
dudes.
away.
That's where I thought it was going.
I hoped it was.
Brown coffee all over the windshield and just cool.
they're
Steve
like,
did
no.
fumble picking up his coffee as we were getting out of his car.
Oh,
today.
and then I did end up dropping it.
Yeah,
on
he
my
did
lap,
drop
yes.
it. The coffee, that particular coffee was
No,
meant
I'm
to be
okay.
dropped.
It was
Okay.
only a little.
But
I
he
drank
just,
most of
He
it.
basically picked it up and went, oh, blah, 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 and that's and then spit
it
on his
gone
pantaloons.
Oh, it's gone. I drank it.
okay.
I drank it. I am fully
thought you spoke
caffeinated. Also, should we point out my old man pillow that I have
nice.
behind me right
All
now?
the listeners will know that you have a pillow
That
there.
he has a pillow behind there.
Now they do.
Glad that you pointed that out. Can we talk about the Jets?
Yeah, sure.
Can we talk
sport.
about the fact that
This is the wrong sport.
they are? I know. Can we talk about the fact that they are up 1-0? They are 3 wins away
Isn't
from the
it
Stanley
2-0?
Cup
What?
in the series, Steve.
I thought it was 2-0 in the series.
No, they literally
played
only
one
played
game.
one game on
Oh,
Saturday.
really? Oh, no, wait. Sorry, it's the Caps. My bad.
Yep.
My bad. Lost track.
Well, that's
my
cool.
bad.
No,
My bad.
that's cool. Blow that
No,
one
but the
too.
Jets
That's all
beat
right.
them so bad that I thought it was 2-0. You see.
I got you. I got you.
With a little help from the referees, apparently.
Now,
Well-
we also, okay, so do we think that? Is that what we think?
No. What was the final score? What was the final score of that game? I know the Jets were up
game
3-0. 4-2. Okay, well, maybe then. Maybe. Because we were just talking on the way in. I was catching up. I was doing a little bit of catch up. What, I don't know if I forget the name of the term. Anyway, I was catching up.
Doing a little bit of catch up seemed fine to me.
A little
I'm
bit of
not
catch
really
up,
sure why
and
you
then I
stopped
ruined
yourself.
it.
It's going well.
The goalie interference challenge
should
on
end
the
the
3-0
show.
goal. The goalie interference challenge on the 3-0 goal.
I thought it was 2-0.
It was on the 3-0 goal. I thought it should have been 2-0, Adam, because I don't think it should have counted.
Why?
Because we've seen that goal happen many times, and it wasn't a goal. I asked on Twitter, I go, can we get that goal next to the Zach Hyman no goal from, I think it was Game 5 against Boston, please? Please. Can we get that? So Joel Armia is going through the crease. He's well in the blue paint. Every inch of him is in the blue paint, and he put himself there. There's a little bit of jostling in front of the net, but he wasn't like in the white paint, shoved into the blue. He put himself there. The pass goes into the slot, goes into the crease, off his skate, and in, while he's making contact with Marc-Andre Fleury. Now, Craig Simpson, I think it was, on the broadcast made a great point where he said, I actually think that should be a goal. Like, he said it should. He doesn't understand why the rules say that shouldn't count. But he said repeatedly, there's no way they're going to...
So he believes it's a hockey goal, but he also believes that the rules would state that it isn't.
Yeah, so the ref, like, emphatically, no goal, right away. And so there needs to be conclusive evidence, which that's gone, by the way. Is that done, where the ref's call is a tie break? I feel like that's totally done.
I thought it now all rested on that one or two people that are in Toronto.
So then it's literally done. But no, it was a 4 or 5 minute review, and they said it was a good goal. And I go, just to make it all fair, there was the call that went against the Leafs, the Zach Hyman goal, and it looked pretty much the same to me. And then there was the call that went in the Leafs' favor, the Brian Dumoulin goal, when the Leafs were running the Penguin show, and the Penguins ended up almost coming back, and they could have come back had this Brian Dumoulin goal counted. It was just guys going through the crease. They make incidental contact, and 2 of them weren't a goal, and this one was. And I guess I don't understand. What I was talking about with, I'm trying to remember if it was the controversial Austin Matthews no goal. Yes, it was, because that was Bernier in net. And the whole issue was, yes, there was contact being made with him, but he had no chance of making the save. He didn't even know where the puck was. He didn't know. He had no chance of making the save. I don't remember where I was going with that. Sorry. I completely lost track.
Well, I mean, you were talking about Dumoulin, you were talking about Bernier, you were talking about goals that should count and goals that shouldn't.
Where was I going with that? I don't know. I honestly don't remember.
That's cool, man. That's great. No, that's awesome.
Sorry.
You seem like you were winding up for something good.
I know, and I completely spaced. I completely spaced.
Wow.
I've actually, I don't know where I am right now.
It wasn't
So what you're saying
a
is
goal
this
by rule.
Yeah, I think it should absolutely be a goal, but by rule? Hell no. Hell no. Like, based on precedent this season, based on the Matthews no goal, the Hyman no goal, and the Dumoulin no goal, there's no way that's a goal.
Maybe that's where I was going.
Okay, but then you can't be upset at it. Because
sure, can.
They got the hockey play correct.
Get the rules. Get the rules correct.
You kind of throw out all the rules at the in the playoffs.
But then you shouldn't.
No.
Now we get back to hockey's stupid.
Yes, we all know that.
And so am I, because I spaced.
There's no rules in the playoffs. 2 goalies in net.
Yep. Why not?
I mean, what's
the puck is a hot dog.
What is the difference?
The Penguins would have won.
The puck is a hot dog.
Do you put Phil Kessel in net? Would they win?
Maybe.
How is Matt Murray at forward? I don't know.
So you can't be upset at the end result.
Sure I can.
You
enforce the rules.
So are you on the side of, hey, this is an important game, let's lean on the hockey call instead of let's go and actually play by the rules? Which side do you fall on?
I follow, this is still the 17-18 season, and in the 17-18 season, that's not a goal.
So you think they should have just foregone the correct logic, the logical thing, where it's a goal because it's a hockey goal, and just call it by the book?
I wouldn't. We've already changed one rule mid-season because of Brad Marchand.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess you're right. Why not? I mean, ultimately, no, you can't get that mad. Because, I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
And if that is a goal next year going forward for every team, great. But this season, it's not a goal.
The problem is, I get what you're saying. It's the inconsistency.
Yeah.
Buffalo Sabres fans will tell you, this seems familiar. Dude, your toenail is, you breathe in the crease in 99. It's no goal. If your foot is anywhere near the blue paint, it's not a goal.
And they
did that all season.
They just didn't want to pick the confetti up off the ice. That's why they get. That's all they. That's the reason they
picked one goal that season where they're like, and that one's fine. And it was the Stanley Cup deciding goal. I don't know why we always have the discussion where we go, imagine if it decides the cup. Happened less than 20 years ago.
Don Cherry actually said, and I remember this in like the second round. He said, "This rule is so stupid that just because this is going to happen, it will be the Stanley Cup winning goal, and they'll have to decide what to do. And he's absolutely right.
Buffalo would have to come back and win Game 7, and they wouldn't have done that.
What? How do you know?
I know. They're Buffalo.
Oh, you know what? Jesse, fair point, but that one goal shouldn't have counted.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Sounds like it was a goal to me.
It would have just prolonged the game.
Yes.
But you are right.
Hasek was unbelievable that year, though. And he had just come off winning a gold medal the year before.
Yeah. He was unbelievable. Imagine if they enforced the rules. Now, Jets fans who think I'm just picking on the Jets,
No, you're picking on the NHL.
Well, the James Neal and Toby Enstrom, the hit, they kept calling it clean over and over again. And I'm looking at the hit, and I'm like, neither of his skates are on the ice before he makes contact. He flew into that hit, and he completely smashed him. It was close to clean, but it wasn't clean. I think the reason we're not all in an uproar about it is because he didn't make contact with the head.
Right.
But Enstrom, I think, did he miss the rest of the game? He was hurt. He was definitely winded. So
Well,
I didn't know.
It makes you kind of wonder how going into next. I think any game in the playoffs is pivotal, but I think really Game 2 here is going to be pivotal. I think it's going to really decide how the rest of this series goes because Game 1 you can have a bad game. In fact, you can have a bad game too. Look at what Washington did in the first round against Columbus. But I feel like we're really going to get a sense of where Vegas stands against the Jets, and it should be, by logic, nowhere. But we've said that against the entire NHL this year, and here they are. So we'll see. But 4-2 is not a huge. I mean, Vegas scored a couple, made it close. I wonder if Vegas doesn't come out here and sneak Game 2 away.
Well, and if they do, then it's the Jets who are in trouble, right? Because they're the ones with home ice advantage. You win Game 1 at home. Well, yeah, you're supposed to. Now, Game 2, you need to go into Vegas, I think, with a 2-0 lead. The Jets are the juggernaut, man. They can do it. That's a scary team. They're so scary.
In the conference final with a 2-0 lead, since they have the conference format, are 39-2.
Woo! Who are the two?
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know who those two chokers are, but
wow.
And teams on the road, this is for the Caps fans, teams on the road who take a 2-0 lead in the conference finals are 12-0. So they've never lost.
My God, they're going to lose now.
So they can either be the one or they just keep up history. We'll see.
That's amazing. I liked Sid's little theory about how basically there's nothing else on Ovechkin's mind. Except for this Stanley Cup race because of the what was his logic again? It was something about the Olympics.
Yeah, because he related it to Russia winning the Olympics and like him not being there. So now this is all his focus. Yeah, it bugged him. That was it.
They finally win and he wasn't.
They finally win and he wasn't there for it.
I forgot they won.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
That's how little attention.
Who'd they beat?
No idea.
Who'd they beat? Germany.
Oh, yeah.
Who eliminated Canada, right?
Yeah.
I think so, but I don't remember or care.
But I think he's right. I think Ovechkin's just playing free, and I think he's just loose, and it looks like he's having fun, even though it's like the highest pressure situation he's ever been in his entire life.
But he's just goofy
Ovi, and it's awesome.
Dmitry Filipovich, I think, tweeted maybe it was Nicholas Backstrom holding him back all these years.
Man, that's another thing. Tampa has got to feel super screwed. Not only did you lose both of your first 2 games at home, dude. It's like when the Leafs.
When Bergeron wasn't in.
That was the moment. You're back. You're back in the series. Oh, crying out loud. That was your moment. You tie the damn thing up 2-2. Probably win the series, dude.
The Washington series is shocking because it really is shocking because Tampa, you can forgive one bad game, but 2 bad games?
Well, in Tampa,
or are they that bad, or is Washington just playing them really well?
We're talking about these controversial goals. Tampa took the lead over some shenanigans. Again, there's shenanigans. The puck comes from behind the net, hits Victor Hedman in the face. He tried to catch it, completely whiffed. And I think it was TJ Oshie getting the 2 minutes for high sticking call. Dude, like what I don't understand is the broadcast knew it was the wrong call 10 seconds after it happened. 15 seconds after it happened. You can't, like, we're not slowing the game down. You skate over to the table and go, hey, was I wrong on that? And they go, yes, for sure. Like, we're not talking about,
Yeah, not hard.
was that actually slashing? Was that actually hooking? It's as simple. He wasn't hit by the stick.
I think that's a dangerous territory if you start doing that with penalties. Because then everybody's like, oh, if you just look at the TV and then you go back and you change everything. I don't know.
Well, Jesse, what we talked about with the Joel Armia goal is, do we want to get it right? Do we want to have the result that is the true result?
But do we want the TV affecting penalty calls that are subjective?
There's no subjective about it. He wasn't hit by the stick.
Yeah, but that's such a rare instance. I think if you implement it there, actually it happened to Hedman earlier this year.
It did.
You remember when it was?
I'm trying to remember who it was.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dude,
who it was
it's happened to the Leafs at least 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Over the past 2 seasons, and one time it did get reversed. Actually.
Oh yeah.
Remember? I'm trying to remember. It might have even been against the Lightning. It was either Matt Hunwick or Roman Polak. They got a high sticking call. I think it was even a 4-minute high sticking call because the guy was bleeding. It wasn't their stick. It was someone else's stick. I want to say it was Hunwick. Or was it Polak? It was one of those two. And they reversed it. Why? They saw footage and knew it was the wrong call. Oh, you know what it was? They looked right up at the Jumbotron. So you know what? I think if your home video crew is on the ball enough, that should be like part of it. Like, no, okay, you got to get the footage up on the screen fast enough, and and the ref sees it. No call.
So it was.
Oh, but it was in Tampa.
Last round, April 30th. That's last round, right? Or that's not the regular season.
April 30th. No, dude, that was last round.
Yeah, that's last round. So last
like 2
round,
weeks ago.
yeah, Hedman hit his own stick in his face, and it looked like Pasternak's stick came up, and he got 4 minutes.
It was 4 minutes.
Yeah, that was the other incident.
That's a shame. That happens all the time. I think that happened with Rick Nash in Toronto, in the Toronto series too. I think he I know Toronto sold calls too, but he sold a call right up the river, and the ref bought. So it was amazing.
Boston was complaining about calls in the Toronto series, and we're like, oh, really? And then Boston goes into the Tampa series, and they complain about those calls, and we go, oh, really? And now I saw a sign that was 2 Tampa fans holding up. It was like an iPhone, and it said "missed call, missed call, missed call, ref, missed call, missed call" against the Caps. And Boston fans are like, "You got to be kidding me!"
Well, everybody's got everybody thinks that they're getting screwed. So
whoever wins this series, based on the sign, it's going to be the Caps that win this series, and then they're going to go and play whoever wins the Western Conference, and they're going to be like, "What? You're joking!" It's going to be great. Can't wait.
Do you think Washington really has what it takes to close this series down?
Dude, yes.
Or is this going to be a Columbus versus Washington?
Definitely could be. It would now. Washington
Where is Tampa?
Yeah, they haven't shown up yet. And it's weird.
But it's not weird though, because I think this is what happens as deep as you go in the playoffs. Remember, Tyler Johnson was unbelievable, and then it was like, "Where's Tyler Johnson?" Oh, broken wrist. The Canucks in 2011, Ryan Kessler beats Nashville on his own in the second round. Finals come. Where's Ryan Kessler? Half dead. Where's Patrice Bergeron? Punctured lung. I bet there's crazy things going up and down that roster that we don't know about. They just played Boston. Who knows? Who knows? You get stuck somewhere, you fall awkwardly.
Someone licks you. You get the herpes.
It's wow. Wow. Not that you're naming names or anything.
No, never. Allegedly.
Jesse Blake, who said that? I can't believe. Oh
Adam Wild.
Wow.
Did not say that. Did not say that.
Adam sounds 6 inches taller. Wow. That's crazy. No, but it's the playoffs. If you're in the third round and you're like, but where'd they go? They just disappeared out of nowhere. Well, odds are it's injuries. It might be the long layoff.
Never know.
Might be, but I don't know. I got to imagine it's
I feel bad for Adam when your second favorite team doesn't.
Yeah, I know, man. This is a tough playoffs. I've actually been sort of rooting for Washington though, because it's kind of like, how do you not cheer for that?
Because it's kind of funny, but also if they do choke, it would be the first time ever. They finally make it.
Oh, if the
first time in 20 years. And it would be the first time ever.
Yeah, for a team up 2-0
On the
in
road.
the conference finals on the road. They would be the first team to ever choke.
Unbelievable. And also, where's Tampa? I mean, Vasilevsky scored on himself. Like, it's also a little bit of bad luck.
Yeah, Pete Blackburn had a great tweet about how this is an NHL 18 goal where the goalie tries to stick poke and it goes in on himself.
I hate
and it was so true.
And you throw the controller
It
at the
was
screen.
so true.
Yep, absolutely. It's just fascinating to me that Washington could be up like this. There's no way in ever. I at most I'd be like 1-1. Has to be 1-1.
At most. Like, again, talking before the series, and I think I even said, because the Capitals were kicking the crap out of Tampa, and like mid that game, knowing they were losing, Jesse and I were still like, nah, Caps are losing this, Tampa's winning.
Yeah.
You're the only one who I think said, you said Caps Vegas. You're Mr. Fun.
Yeah, I did want
We're
that.
the party poopers over here who are like, no, the two better teams are going to win. But
Logic,
Oh,
sir.
sports guys.
I guess
Trusted hockey sportsmen.
so far, we're wrong.
Trusted prediction men.
So far, we're wrong.
One
By the way,
thing-
I am not that.
One thing that the Caps have had consistently over their playoff runs, which is kind of shocking because they keep losing, but Braden Holtby has been amazing in the last 5 playoffs. He went 922, 944, 942, and then last year he kind of slipped because of all those crazy games versus the Leafs. He was 909, and this year is a 926.
And yet people were saying after last year, I think it's time to question Braden Holtby.
And he got pulled twice already. He didn't play.
Dude, he like the back half of the season, he practically lost his job.
He wasn't the starter.
to Philip Grubauer.
But he's been amazing in the playoffs.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I think a few podcasts ago, we were like, man, if you have a 940 goalie, you know, how do you get eliminated? Dude, Braden Holtby was 940 plus back-to-back years.
And the Caps got eliminated by the Penguins.
That's nuts.
And they had
That's
look,
nuts.
last
Last
year,
year,
they
I mean,
were
Game 7,
stacked.
Caps got friggin' shut out.
they were stacked.
Yep.
They've been stacked for like years. And it's finally coming together, and it's kind of cool.
Wow.
It is
cool
cool
to
to
see.
watch. It definitely is.
But you
And
never know.
It shows you the randomness of hockey too, right? But I truly believe they're playing without pressure. I keep saying it every episode. They're just having fun now.
I feel bad that the Caps have to play with the pressure of, like, okay, they have no pressure, but maybe fans, I guess, have to live with the pressure of this has literally never happened before. Like, if Tampa
They've
were to
made the
come
finals
back.
though.
But no, it's never happened before that a team has come back from this. But if you were to tell me Tampa came back from this, I'd be like, yeah. It wouldn't even shock me. It wouldn't even surprise me. They were the favorite going in, and hockey's been kind of nuts this year.
Yeah, it has.
I feel like
Been a weird year.
Yeah,
It's an
upsets are
understatement
expected.
when the expansion team is in the conference final.
Yeah, really.
You know?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a wacky year. You know what's interesting? I was thinking about this the other day, and you know, everybody talks about legacy, especially when it comes to LeBron. They would talk about LeBron's legacy. Well, is he better than Michael Jordan? He's got more points, more assists, more this, more that, more points and get in the playoffs, more finals appearances, whatever. But he doesn't have 6 championships like Michael. He's only got 3. He's been in the championship games 7 years running, and he's a few games away from doing it again, which is insane.
Well,
But with Ovechkin, kind of like with LeBron, there's this, and Phil Mickelson had this for years in golf, but more on the team game side, it's almost like the entire city of Washington, the fans, and the rest of the players that have played on the team carry the fact that he hasn't won the cup as their pressure point. Do you know what I mean? Because last year, really, would the Caps really have this much pressure on them if Ovechkin wasn't playing it was more by committee? Like, look at Nashville. Nashville does not have an Alexander Ovechkin. They've got a lot of great players.
yes.
But they don't
I
have
understand
one
what
of
you're
those
saying.
generational Sidney Crosby one year, Alexander Ovechkin the next year draft picks. And
You could
they
argue
usually get
Subban-
to the second round.
Yeah, you could argue Subban, but he's not a forward. It's
Yeah,
a little different.
and nobody's looking at Subban and going, "Well, he won't be great." For some reason, nobody's looking at Subban and going, "He's not great because he's never won a cup."
Subban isn't to defensemen what Ovechkin is to forwards
Fair
or wingers.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He's perennial all-star, but he's not first ballot Hall of Famer like Ovechkin,
right?
which I think is what you're saying.
I think so. I
Yeah.
mean, he might be one day.
Yeah.
Depends on his class, but I
See,
feel
there's
like,
no might with Ovechkin.
Yeah, no,
It's-
he is, and he's scoring at an unbelievable rate. I just find it funny that the entire city of Washington for years has carried his burden of he's really great, so he better win a cup. Otherwise, we won't really consider him great anymore. I find that really funny. And I feel like it's a bit strange that there's this odd thing that's developed. Like Marcel Dion, another guy, great hockey player who never won a cup. Marcel Dion, back in the day too, when nobody's watching a Los Angeles Kings national game because it didn't exist. You can argue that both of those things worked against him. But I doubt very much that anybody would say Marcel Dion was not a great first ballot NHLer, or Hall of Famer that is, because he never won a cup. But people will make that argument in this day and age about Alexander Ovechkin, and I find that very strange.
I think there's a bit of a Sid factor.
Right.
A bit of a Penguins factor. I mean, your number one rival. And
by the way, completely made up.
It completely made up, but it was marketed that way for the better part of a decade. Sid versus Ovi, Sid versus Ovi, Sid versus Ovi. And we're like a decade and a half into it now. And it's Sid 3, Ovi 0. Which is totally unfair, and there's 1,000 other ways to look at it. But most fans, I think most casual fans, will look at it as 3-0. I was thinking about if the Capitals win, Penguins fans can still go, yeah, well, 3-1.
They will.
And they will.
They absolutely will.
And they will, and it won't take the cup away from the Caps, and it won't make it so that the Caps didn't eliminate the Penguins this year. But that is what they'll say. And there's some right now going, I would never, but who, me? I would never be so indignant on twitter.com. No, but that's how they'll always be compared. If, let's say the Montreal Canadiens, for example, or the Ottawa Senators, more realistic, they just went to the conference final last year. The Senators put together a run.
Wait, who was the first team you said?
Montreal Canadiens.
I think it's way more real Canadiens.
Canadiens, well, because they've had, either of them. They've both been deep.
Okay.
In relatively recent memory. If they put together a run where they win cups, there's going to be a comparison to the Leafs a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's a little different because the Leafs have sucked for so long.
That's why I hope Montreal and Ottawa continue to be as dysfunctional as they have been, so we don't have to worry about that.
There's no real parallel for the Leafs, so it's difficult. But with Washington and Pittsburgh, it was two players whose legacies were permanently married to each other.
Back-to-back years drafted.
Sid, Ovechkin, rookie years the same year, though.
And Ovi wins.
First overall, second overall, Ovi wins. Okay, so that was the win in year one. Neither team makes the playoffs. You're tied there. Who won the Calder? Ovi. Point Ovi. Ovi wins the rookie year. Crosby, I think he maybe had some records or whatever. Point Ovi first year. Who made the playoffs first? I think they both made the playoffs same year. Who won the series first? I think it was Ovi. Point Ovi. Penguins make it to the Stanley Cup final first. All right.
But they lose.
So some of you will look at that as a tie. Some of you will look at it as point Penguins. The second the Penguins win the cup, the scoreboard is wiped. Wipe the entire thing clean. It's 1-0 Crosby. No matter what points, whatever you were looking at before, it's 1-0.
And then they start playing each other in the playoffs.
Yeah. The Leafs never had that. The closest thing is you could argue McDavid. You could argue Line.
People are trying to make something out of that. I don't really feel like there's anything.
No.
You know what? It's almost, how do you compare Sid and Ovi, really? They play different positions.
But it was Sid and Ovi. If you tell people it's Sid versus Ovi for long enough, they start to believe it. And I mean, in sports, dude, if we started this podcast in 05-06, that's what we would have been paying attention to.
Yep.
Sid versus Ovi.
And
then
Tim Brent.
The next year in 06-07, jeez. How's Alex Steen doing?
Crosby did make the playoffs before Ovi. Just correct your
1-0.
Correct your timeline.
1-0 already. He was already up.
1-0. It's who's gonna get into the Hall first?
I think they go in the same year.
One retires before the other. Are they going to be able to retire in different years? I don't think they're allowed. I don't think the universe will allow it. I don't care if one's older than the other. The universe will not allow one to retire before the other. They got to retire same year, same night, against each other. Oh, whoever's making the schedule in 2027,
whenever they decide.
Yeah, better be ready. That's weird. We're less than 10 years away. We're less than a decade away, I think, from the end of those two.
This could be like the peak pinnacle couple years, and that's it. And then they might go down. Who knows? We don't know.
Do they still feel new?
No.
Or do they feel old?
Those guys? Mid. Yeah. I think they're mid.
No, they're old.
They're 30, right?
No, they're old. Look at
There's
the
no way they're
Look at the
old.
gray hair on Ovechkin.
Yeah, he does have gray hair. He actually
Silver
he's
fox.
getting better with age. That guy. He's figured out his hair finally.
He became a student of the game.
He, but even Caps fans Ovi had bad hair for a while,
The gray is
but
wisdom.
he has cleaned it up. And man, I was like, wow, handsome dude.
Also, I think across pro sports, once you hit 30, you're on the old side.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
he's what, 31?
32.
32,
Yeah.
and Crosby's 31, 30.
Year
I think
younger?
he's going to turn 31.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
so they're
about
on
to
the
turn
down.
31 in August.
You could say they're on the downside.
More than a decade in. Yeah. It's coming to an end.
He was born on 8787.
Was he really?
Universe is ridiculous. Yeah, August 7th, 1987.
And that's why his number is 87? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
And look at his cap hit.
No,
8.7.
what if the number came first? What if he was 87 before
And then
he
the
was
birthday
born?
was decided.
He was born with a scar like he had a scar like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Harry Potter was not born with it. I'm sorry. Maybe it's maybe
Very important.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm glad you read those books now because those references are coming in hot and heavy.
Oh, I love him. I love him. SL's still not done. And so I'm like talking to her friends like behind her back. What did you think of Azkaban?
And she needs to finish.
She needs to finish.
That's ridiculous. Jesse, what?
No, I was going to ask a fantasy question, but it doesn't matter. I was going to say, what if you swapped Backstrom and Malkin at some point? And then
Dude, we did that.
Yeah, we did that already. Yeah.
We literally did that.
we did
really?
that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's a YouTube video. You can go watch it.
Yeah. Oh, our discussion last show, I think it was, of who gets the cup first on each team and who passes it to. I made an article out of it today.
I saw that. It was very nice.
Give you a little shout out. So with Vegas is the only one that's like weird because they don't have a captain. So I want to expand on what I said. I want it to be Derek Engelland first, Marc-Andre Fleury second, then they pass it to Gerard Gallant third. Oh, Florida just turned the knife.
You know what would be great?
And then
is
Tom
if-
Paraschka.
Is if they brought a taxi to the arena and drove it on the ice.
Oh,
And then had Gerard Gallant drive around the ice
If they
on it.
brought a tax.
Gary Bettman gets out.
Or just paint one of the Zambonis like a taxi. And then just go around the ice with Vegas is at home. They've won the cup, and just Gerard Gallant going around in a taxi.
Oh my god, man, that would
with
have been
with a wild cat on the roof.
that would have been such a good gimmick if the Jets lost and the Preds won, because the Preds always have the smash car out front.
Oh, so
Dude,
could've
make
been
it a
taxi.
cab.
Oh, that would have been funny. I'm
That
sure
would've been
I'm sure they
It's a
did.
smash jet right now.
Oh, it's a smash jet.
Yeah, they swapped that.
It wasn't
And
a
they
jet.
put
That was
the
like a
thrash-
biplane.
And they put the Thrashers logo on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've
Like,
been smashing it. It's
They
pretty
would have
awesome.
got creative. They could have got a cab. Oh, that would have been great. Well, c'est la vie. Sorry, Nashville. Winnipeg deserved to beat them. I mean, geez, I watched Game 7. They were not. It wasn't close.
No, it wasn't.
close.
So another thing that happened, and it was released today, and it was at the other network. But Mike Babcock had a big sit down.
Yeah, I want to ask about that. Yeah.
A few things came up. He
Are his
talked
legs okay?
Mike's legs.
Yeah, during his big sit down. Sounds like it hurts.
Well, it was no small sit down, that's for sure.
Okay.
Sitting down does hurt.
Especially if it's a big one.
He also was wearing shorts and tanning his legs, which I
Okay.
thought was great.
Of course.
Shorts and sandals. They had
Of course.
their Humboldt ribbons on.
Did you know that Mike Babcock is into health?
Might be just a little bit.
Just every second presser, he's drenched in sweat, and he's just been running around the Air Canada Center. Almost bowled you over that one time. Takes a sip of his coconut water, because electrolytes. And all right, what's that? What's next?
He's
Let's
in
go.
health, for sure. He's
into
also
health.
he wants the Leafs management to stay together. He's talking about Detroit, and they were talking about a conversation that he had with whether or not to keep Hasek. He wants Lou Lamoriello to stay. He wants Mark Hunter to stay. He has a lot of respect for Kyle Dubas. I think it was kind of important for him to come out with that. So all this shenaniganery about Mike Babcock will never talk to Kyle Dubas. He was talking to him basically every day.
Yeah.
Now,
No, that's weird, right?
yeah, that'd be weird.
Coach talking to management.
Yeah, really.
Weird.
He also said he and Matthews had a really great meeting at Austin's house. And he said that he probably wouldn't have gone there if the media hadn't made something out of it. And, Nick Kyprios did cause a storm when he said it. And he said, you know what, I would have probably just gone out for a beer with him and got a coffee. But he's like, it was good to go to his house. I got a really nice glass of wine. We talked. Like, it was great.
And Friedman made a great point in 31 Thoughts 2 days ago, I think it was.
It's very recent. Yeah.
Yeah, he said that there was another player who was in a similar situation, and the coach was like, "Okay, I'm going to let it breathe." And by the time he had reached out to the player, it was too late because all in his head he was just reading all the media stuff, and it just festered. And he's like, by the time he got to him, he was like, the relationship's done. So he was congratulating Babcock and being like, taking the initiative and going down there and talking to Matthew so quick. So I thought that was a great point by Friedman.
The thing is that when you're alone and you're stewing on something, you start to come up with crazy ass ideas.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And you start to resent people.
Yeah.
I've done it enough time. Man, I tweeted about it last week.
You're having an argument?
Dude, I burned
yourself?
my lunch because I was having a hypothetical argument with someone I've never met.
And it was all just in your head.
It was all in my head,
Let me
and
guess.
all the things they said were never said.
Let me guess. Let me guess. Twitter?
Oh, you bet. You bet. You bet. And someone tweeted me, they're like, "Oh man, they got in your head," and I'm like, "No, they don't know that I'm even having this discussion."
No.
And also, I was remembering something that they said, literally years ago, and I burned my lunch because I was so
What were you making?
preoccupied. I don't remember. It was burned,
Wow.
so I couldn't eat it.
Wow.
Anyway, so
I
yeah.
was, dude, I was
did get in
looking.
your head.
I was
You
just
forgot
staring
your
at the
lunch.
stove. You ever look at something but not look at something?
Yep.
Just staring at the stove.
It happens in this room regularly. I get that stare all the time.
So Leo Komarov is going to Vegas
to pot one in the
play
net.
with
LeoVegas.net.
Didomi.
And also
Yeah.
that goal in Winnipeg, Vegas, Colorado, Toronto, Matthews. What was I talking about? I'm still embarrassed I did that.
So that was an interesting kind of thing. But Mike Babcock did make reference to the fact that Darren Dreger said, like, listen, there's defensive issues and whatever, and Mike said, well, we've got, quote, was more coming, I believe in reference to the D, but nothing announced yet. He referenced the D. Hey.
More coming.
Referencing the D.
The D.
More is coming.
So basically, they're going to sign some free agents out of it seems like free agents out of Europe.
As they should. Mm-hmm. Market
Create some depth.
inefficiency, whatever.
But what I don't hear, and Mike Babcock, when he's going somewhere, he usually kind of hints at something. Like he'll normally, like, I feel like if they were going to make a big splash, or if that was part of the plan, he'd be like, well, we're going to take a big dip this summer and see what we can do. We're going to take a swing.
For such a secretive organization, like since coming to the Leafs,
He's pretty open.
Mike Babcock is not subtle. No, he clubs you over the head with information and what he wants.
And people are like, ooh, I wonder what he means.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much what he says.
It's like Shakespeare going, "This apple is green." And all right, everyone, take out your textbook on his great play, "This apple is green." What do we think he meant by "this apple is green"? I meant the apple was green. Yeah, no. Babcock wants something.
Don't make fun of that. There are entire university courses built around analyzing if the apple is green.
Well, it's too bad all of it was written by Christopher Marlowe anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know there's actually a Christopher Marlowe Society?
No, I don't know what you're
I don't
talking
know.
about.
Christopher Marlowe was another playwright at the time.
Let's do this.
This is my new favorite segment. Of course, Adam knows this. All right.
So it's kind of like flat Earth theory, but basically the idea is Christopher Marlowe and William Shakespeare were friends at the same time, and they were both playwrights. And I think Shakespeare was, I think he was starving, and I think apparently Christopher Marlowe like gave him a play or something like that, and that's how that's the theory anyway.
And
then
Shakespeare
actually,
wrote none of it.
that's what they're saying. That's what people say.
All of them.
Like none of the plays, not Twelfth Night, not Hamlet, not any of them. And it's kind of nuts. Now there are people who claim that they have historical reasons to think this. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're true or not. I don't think they are.
I would love to know. I would love to pick apart. I would love to talk to separate conspiracy theorists. Like, I want to talk to someone. I want to have a list of like a dozen conspiracy theories and sit down with someone who staunchly believes in each one of them.
Well, I saw one come up the other day on my Facebook because there's a person on my Facebook who legitimately believes that there are lizard people.
Okay.
Which is an Alex Jones thing.
So
he believes
it's a lots of crazy people. Thing,
like the Illuminati lizards that are taking over the world and they've taken over the Democratic Party.
Like I want to know who thinks the Illuminati is real, but who's like the lizards are ridiculous, guys. I want to know who thinks the dinosaurs are fake, but the flat Earth thing that's insane.
I think
Like, that's what I wanna do.
I think
I
a
wanna
lot of people who
separate-
believe flat Earth would also not believe dinosaurs.
No, yeah, but I want to know the ones who draw the line. They're like, whoa now.
That's too crazy.
Come on.
Not enough evidence.
What are you guys
Well, it's
smoking?
like Ancient Aliens on History Network, which is one of the most entertaining shows out there on History Network anyway.
I love the South Park episode. Kyle Broflovsky of DeVry Institute. We don't have evidence that there weren't ghosts at the, what was it, the Pilgrim dinner?
Yeah.
What do they call the first Thanksgiving? I think they just call it the first Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
The
Whatever.
Last Supper.
The Last Supper.
Don't think so.
There's no
No?
proof
Gonna go with no.
that the Easter Bunny wasn't at.
Yeah. It's a double negative.
another-
So you're
South Park
saying he
episode.
could be there.
We're saying we don't know. Can't say for certain.
Thomas Tatar scored a goal tonight to put the Vegas Golden Knights up 1-0. So his $5.3 million contract is justified.
And the first round pick
Validated.
that they paid for him.
Yes.
And second and third. I think. So
why did they do that?
I had a question about the Dragger Cafe,
Mm-hmm.
even though it's on the other network. It's a weird way to put out content, I think, because they just talked about, and like, this isn't criticism of, this isn't me going, Rogers, haha, Bell. Don't put that mic sock in my water bottle. Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Okay, so if you're listening, Jesse,
Dude, I can't drink out of it. You know,
Jesse just took the
there's
mic sock. Hold on.
This is just soaked in coffee breath
Jesse
from
just took-
countless people, and now it's in my friggin'
the mic
Nalgene.
cover, the mic sock off the mic and put it.
Was I that
use
boring?
water.
I don't know. I just saw it. I thought it'd be a fun thing to do.
Well, now I'm just gonna leave it.
You should probably take it out.
Oh, you should probably take
No,
that.
now part of me is just like, how soaked can it get?
No,
Well, we
Steve,
have
why
to throw
would
this
you do
away
that?
now.
No.
Why would I do that?
Take it out.
And what sucks is I can't ask you to reach your giant ass hand in there. Okay, so we brought scissors. No, you're gonna cut it?
No, just pull it to the side and then pick it out.
Oh, see, Adam.
2 fingers.
Adam's
No,
the smart
dude.
one.
How am I gonna? I was really going somewhere
We
with
should just
that.
figure this out after. What was your story? What was your question about Dreger?
I should go and pour this out.
Steve, what was your question about the Dreger Cafe?
You know this. You know what? It's literally stuck in
we
there.
were doing something here,
Yeah.
and we got distracted.
And I fucked it up.
And
You're
you
right.
fucked it up.
Jesse-
and you
Jesse-
let him off the hook. Let's get back to the main point, which was your question about Dreger Cafe. It's an interesting way to put out content.
Well, it's not the way I would have done it. So they got this exclusive interview with Babcock because they're at the World Championship in Denmark, and he's also there because he's gonna sit down and talk to Freddie, and no one's freaking out about that for some reason. And so they put out quotes. They put out little snacks, and they were juicy enough that we talked about them on the show. And I saw they were quoted by like Platinum Sea Ghosts and by a bunch of people on Twitter, and it got people talking. And I wanted to listen to the whole thing on the way here, and I couldn't because the whole thing's not out.
No.
The whole thing comes out tonight, like when this podcast comes out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how many people who consume those quotes today are going to be like, yeah, I'm going to listen to the whole thing? No, dude, like tease that you have this big interview with Babcock and then release the whole thing and then clip it after.
Well,
I don't understand why they clipped it before.
I do.
You
I
do?
Because they clipped 3 pieces. Isn't it like half an hour long?
Something like that.
Yeah. So they clipped like 5 minutes total worth of content. And so
That's
what they're
a
trying.
lot.
Okay, fine.
That is a lot of content.
But what
man.
they're trying to do is create
Kind of.
hype at the beginning, click, 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 and then the whole thing comes out, and then they'll split it off into more clips. And
Yeah.
and then clip, 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 clip. So there will be people that want to watch the whole thing. There will be people that don't.
So you think it's all about the
so
clips? We
in-
release
yes,
these clips now and
100%.
more clips
In
later?
the way that Adam's
Okay.
describing it, instead of getting the 10 minutes of here's everything, here's the clips, here's the full thing, you've dragged this out for like 2 days now, and you're in you're in the eyes of people for this much longer
Absolutely.
time.
And it has
you
been
know?
kind of the topic of conversation. I think they've done a good job. And the other thing is, man, I think it is sort of answering a lot of the questions that we all wanted answered. So it's interesting that they have it all.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people are going to take the quotes from today and go, good.
And then not
That's
go
what
back
I
to
wanted
it?
to hear, and then not go back to it. That would be my concern. Anyway.
Interesting.
I don't think so. You know
If-
why?
if the
Because you're going to
plan
start
is-
pumping them out on Twitter tomorrow. They'll clip them all. They'll clip the rest of the interview and say, "Hey, watch the full thing."
Are
here.
you going to go back and view the whole thing or listen to the whole thing?
I probably the whole thing all at once.
I will.
Maybe.
But that's the thing. Remember that, like, people who listen to this show,
yeah, sorry.
people who listen to this show, we put out the full show, and then we put out like some clips afterwards during the week or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Which I think is the way you do it.
Yeah. What's interesting about that is that in the broadcast world, it's the complete opposite. So
It's tease.
it's tease first and then full thing. Can you imagine if we tried, if we were like, hey, we recorded a podcast tonight, here's 2 minutes.
Yeah.
People will be like, what the hell is your problem?
Yeah.
Just put it out.
Yeah.
But in the broadcast world, the way they think is, and this is how I run my radio show, it's we got to keep you listening longer. We got to keep you on our website longer. It's TSL, time spent listening or time spent using. And so the idea here is they want to extend, and I don't blame them, the amount of website hits. We don't base our show on website hits. We base our shows on a download and people listening and advertising revenue, right? Yeah. So it's a different
and also
way of doing it.
engagement, but yeah,
Totally,
yada
yeah.
yada yada.
But the point is
Getting too meta.
The point is it's I think that they did it. I think they did it the right way because they've kept it the topic of conversation, and you can never lose on Leaf stuff.
Well, that one's true. You can definitely
Also,
never lose on
we
Leaf
have a
stuff.
unique audience because people will listen to the whole show. Like our average listening time is like 45 minutes.
I think that's with most podcasts, though.
At first, and then they'll go back and listen to the rest. That's the crazy part.
I think they're using a broadcast mindset for digital, and I just don't think it works that way. I think, like, what I love so much about the podcast is when we put it out, like this hour and a half, 2 hour thing. What people latch onto, glob onto, you could even say, and like what resonates with them. And then I think I see people talking about it, and then we put out the clips, and they go, "Here, this is what I was talking about," rather than just. It's amazing. YouTube has a feature where you can just share at a certain point. No one uses it. Like, no one uses it.
Yeah.
We got to wait until the 5-minute clip comes out and then you share it. I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting way of doing things. Not a criticism, just not the way I would have done it. It's interesting that they're doing it that way. And in terms of will I go back? Probably.
I will.
But
For sure.
I took, like, for example, I consumed all the little Kyle Dubas quotes from the day he was named GM, but it took me like several days to go back and watch the whole thing. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 2-0 Vegas, and Eric Holla also hit the post. So
Eric Holla's got to have a game.
Winnipeg's getting their shit run right now.
Which means they're going to win the game.
Yep.
That's how the show works. That's how it works.
So we jinxed Vegas if that's the case. Is that possible for us to do that? I don't think so.
I think Vegas is so
There must be a
strong that it gets through them. I wrote about it again today. My brain is still having difficulty with the fact that they're a team,
Yeah.
that their games count. Like, whenever a team wins the cup, I feel something. Like, it's not the same as obviously if the Leafs were to win something, but like when Boston beat Vancouver, I mean, most of Canada wanted Boston to beat Vancouver at the time. I was a little bit happy. When the Kings won in 2012, I remember going, hey, that's neat. It's the
Good for
first
them.
time they won. First time they've ever won. When Chicago won, it was under really interesting circumstances. The whole 2 goals in 17 seconds thing in 2013. It was their second from 2010, whatever. Kings win again, whatever. And then who won in 2015? Chicago again. Wow, 3-6. Penguins win. Wow, there was that whole story of Phil Kessel getting his first cup. Phil Kessel's the Stanley Cup champion. CJ wrote this great thing about the Pens won in 2009, and a lot of them thought they would never get back to the promised land. Then the next year they won it again, and I go, wow, it's so cool that we're watching them win again, even though I'm sad for Nashville, so it's not always positive. This year if Vegas wins, I think I'm just going to stare at the screen and go, what am I watching? Like, it's not going to be real. You ever just see something so silly that you don't process it? Like, it just doesn't go through your head at all?
Yeah.
It can be live right in front of you.
react to it.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be on a screen. It's wacky to me that they're even here. It's wacky to me that I remember the first time the Leafs played them this season, and I was like, this is silly. This is silly. Oh, and it's going to the shootout. Hope they win. It was so weird. It wasn't really real to me until the Leafs lost on New Year's Eve, and I was like, oh, okay, now Vegas.
Not just lost.
Vegas
but
is slightly
spanked.
real. Oh, Vegas killed them. I remember probably the only game I remember thinking of Vegas as like an expansion team and real was their first game, which wasn't at home. It was on the road. I think it was against Dallas. They get just creamed, like in terms of shots and possession. And it was just James Neal scoring 2 goals, Marc-Andre Fleury stealing the show. And it was lucky. It was a lucky win. And everyone was just kind of like, isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? They won their first game. Ah, it's so cute that the expansion team won their first game.
All right, let's forget about them now.
And I think that was the last time they were an expansion team to me. Because then I think they won their first 3 games. They won 7 out of their first 8. It's still, I'm not used to them. There's supposed to be a grace period of like 3 years of being shite. We don't get that. Here they are, Final 4. 4 teams left. They're one of them. It's still crazy to me. I don't get it. And yet I get it.
What's next on the docket?
LeoVegas.net. And then the press conference. We just want to quickly mention again. Go to LeoVegas.net. Check out the promotions. Join. 6 people are going. You could be one of them. Can you name the players, Steve?
Is it only 6?
Well, there's six people.
Is six
well, that's
winners?
what they're giving away through a whole thing. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Well, I think there will be more. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Without joking, Mario Lemieux. No, sorry. Okay. Matt Sundin. Curtis Joseph.
Yes.
Ty Domi.
Yes.
Thomas Caberlet.
Hey, he listens. He listens. Remember, it's weekend of June 7th through 10th.
At the Delta Toronto Hotel.
Bingo. And you're going to get free hotel. You're going to get free trip here. You're going to get free rental car. You're going to get $500 to spend.
Do you know who's giving you the Hockey Hall of Fame VIP tour?
Oh, I believe it's Glenn Healy. Yes. And there's someone else. Who is the other person?
Eddie George.
Is it not Matt's?
It is Matt's.
It is Matt, so it's Glenn and Matt's.
But Glenn Healy.
That's pretty
Come
cool.
on, guys.
That's pretty cool.
The heel dog?
The heel dog.
In respect, he'll probably be better at it. He's had a broadcast career.
You don't know. Maybe Matt's is like undercover amazing at broadcasting, but he's like, I was so good at hockey. I don't need to.
He just won't perform though anymore.
Oh,
he knows he's amazing, but he won't perform. He's like Eddie Murphy. He just goes away forever.
I just don't want you fools to feel bad because I'm so good at this.
Well,
you also win a private event at Wayne Gretzky's restaurant.
I said that.
And tickets to a private event with Wayne Gretzky Estates.
I think Adam said that.
Adam, but did you mention that Ty Domi's going to be there?
I may have.
And Curtis Joseph?
Yep.
And Matt Sundin?
Yep. And other NHL alumni to be announced.
Where can you go?
So that famous TBA First Ballot Hall of Famer.
Where can you go to enter?
I believe it's LeoVegas.net, my friend.
It's fabulous.
That's right. So it's right on their front page. Hey, let's do the press conference.
The Presser. SDP.
I think we have the best question
Dangle press
that
conference.
we've ever had.
Oh boy. Steve, can I dunk this windsock in your water?
It's a question, for sure. It's a thinker.
Uh-oh.
Oh, great.
Is rainbow weather?
It is not legal yet. It's not legal yet.
No, but
Stop
rainbow.
it. Stop what you're doing.
That's from Orange Black 92 on Reddit.
Is it weather? Now, see, the thing about weather is that's like saying, are clouds weather? Because clouds are a piece of, like, they're the sum of the thing. But, like,
We
you couldn't
agree
say
that rainbows are a thing.
rainbows
And
are a
clouds
thing,
are a thing.
but that's like saying, is James Van Riemsdyk Toronto Maple Leafs?
I think it's like saying, is a fork food? Like, I associate a fork with food.
I feel like a rainbow is an effect of weather.
Is
I
a
don't
fork
think
a
it's- I don't think
restaurant?
it's
If you
weather.
eat a fork, is it food? If you eat anything, is it then food?
So my house is food.
You've eaten your house?
If I did.
Yeah, if you eat something, is it food? Like if I ate this and I swallowed it, do I count it as food?
That-
What
I think there
has
has
to
to be-
qualify as food?
Nutritional value, some sort of something.
And I assume I'll get something out of a piece of plastic.
Fiber.
There you go. I don't think it's not coming out of me whole.
Estrogen,
It
apparently.
might come back out of your hole. I'm just.
No, I'm saying it won't. It'll do something in my stomach and then it'll probably come out the other end, but something's going to remain in my body, which makes it food because I got something out of it.
Isn't there something about plastic and estrogen?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Is a rainbow weather? Okay, so when we did the is a hot dog a sandwich thing, we established what is a sandwich.
Yes. So we have to establish what weather is.
What, rain? No. So rainbows come after rain. I would call the rain weather. Rainbows are a byproduct of weather, but not weather.
That's what I think too. I think they're an effect of weather. They're something that happens because weather happened.
It rains, then sun comes through. Rainbow. Rain is weather. Sun or clear skies, I guess, are weather.
Yeah.
Rainbow is a byproduct of the weather.
Right. Rainbow doesn't occur. It's not occurring on its own.
Yeah.
It occurs because something else occurred.
It's like, is bread a living thing? No, it's a byproduct of previously. It's a byproduct
things.
of wheat and all that.
It's funny
And
that
yeast.
you should bring up bread because the next question
Are you
is,
joking?
Stop.
how do you cut a slice of toast? Because there are 3 options. I will show you the picture.
Okay, I see.
Are you throwing this up online too so people can see it?
Sure. I assume somebody can throw it up or I'll put it on Reddit.
Okay.
The
I'll
answer
throw it-
is,
I'll throw it
I
in the
don't
video.
care.
So
as
it's
well.
across, in half up, and a half sideways.
Do
Right?
your
Diagonal.
broadcasting and describe the 3 options.
Okay, so it's
one.
across, and then there's diagonally, and then there's perpendicular.
Which way is the correct way?
And you also have to decide what way, like, what is the top of the bread? Is it the, because people say the top of the bread is the part that it sits on. Some people are like, no, the top of the bread's the rounded piece because it's the top.
What?
Well,
Yeah.
Oh shit! Like a loaf.
Yeah, like a loaf sits, right?
No, but oh crap!
What part is the top?
Because like when you get a bag of bread, the top is the end of the loaf, where the bread piece is.
But as soon as you start
The one
cutting
you
it,
throw
then,
out.
Does a
then
loaf
where's
of
the
bread
top?
have one hole or 2?
Do you eat that piece? That piece on the
Hell
end?
yeah, it's my favorite piece.
Oh, the butt?
Yeah.
I throw it in the garbage.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, save them all. I'll eat them. I put them in the toaster and I like them crispy.
With Adam, it's always butt eaten season.
Yeah.
What's the
SZN.
so if you had a Wonder Bread, Sidney Crosby Wonder Bread, is the top where the bag opens, or is the top where you lay it flat?
No, okay, if I were to draw,
That's better than the bread
if
cutting.
I drew
one.
a loaf of bread, yeah, the top part would be the rounded part, I guess.
Where you're sitting it flat, not
Yeah.
where you take the bread out.
No, and then, okay, so we're having 2 different conversations here. The top of the loaf of bread is the rounded part. The top of the slice of bread is the part that you put face up.
No, it's the same thing though. It's the same loaf except cut. It doesn't become a new loaf of bread. That's ridiculous.
So then do you put toast on its side?
What do you mean?
Well, yeah,
Because
if
the
you're
rounded part, well, you don't stand toast up. You do in the toaster.
You don't have. Okay.
But
One,
on your
you do in a
plate,
toaster.
it's flat. It lays flat.
Yeah, but
not laying on
that
its side,
doesn't
it's laying
change
flat.
the top.
That's like laying on your back. Like the toast.
Yeah.
You're laying on your
My head didn't change
Yeah.
because I'm laying on my back.
So when you put jam on your toast
yeah.
or avocado,
Avocado jam.
when you put avocado
Avo
jam,
Avo jam.
also known as guacamole by peasants,
Sometimes avocados aren't worth the price of admission. Like yesterday, I was going to buy avocados and it was way too expensive. I was like, it's not worth it.
No.
Anyways,
Nope.
sidebar.
That's
Go
a
ahead.
Jesse. There you go. Things Jesse thinks.
oh baby, everything is happening. So when you put jamamole on your bread,
Yes.
what side of the bread do you put it on?
It doesn't matter. You put it on the.
That's the conversation we're having.
No, we're talking about what's the top of the loaf.
Right. And to get there, I'm asking you, when you spread guacamole,
I don't put it on.
No,
I
it's
don't
on-
wrap it around on the crust.
so you call it the side then.
I put it on the side.
All right. I think we agree then.
No. Okay. So what? What side?
agree, Jesse goes, no.
What side are you on? I don't understand what side you're on.
We're
I-
flat. In fact, we're flat. That's what it is.
I think toasts are yellow.
And the way to properly cut is in half. Not on diagonal. Not down
Doesn't
the
matter to
diagonal
me.
cut.
I would either cut it. I would never cut it perpendicular or horizontal.
Yeah, down the middle. Yeah, that makes no sense.
What are you nuts?
No, but little kids eat their sandwiches like that all the time, and it's strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, who
What
are
about
these
the four-way
mothers that are
cuts? I used to
doing
get the
this?
four-way
it's
cuts
strange.
from my parents.
They're in a rush. That's why.
The four-way cuts are key.
Especially for your little kid.
Yeah.
Little hands.
Okay. Okay, maybe this is weird. At home, I will cut it vertical. When I'm at a restaurant, I think it's weird.
Like a burger? Yeah,
or like a breakfast place. I think it's weird when it's not cut diagonal. And whenever I get it, I'm like, ooh, diagonal toast. Fancy toast.
So
they
here-
cut it fancy.
He's sitting at a Denny's. He's like, ooh,
Denny's.
I love restaurants. I just hate ordering food.
That is-
I think every
That is
restaurant
sort of
is
like
fancy.
high end out there, you know.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Hey.
They go to Tim Hortons and they do fine dining.
That's right. That's right. We're going to
have-
take you on a date to Tim Hortons, baby. You know what?
You guys have never
Tomorrow
been to
morning-
the famous Ted's.
Tomorrow morning,
okay?
I'm going to get up and I'm going to get you a Grand Slam at Denny's for $3.99.
No, why do that when you can go to the famous Ted's and get a friggin' turkey dinner? Whatever you want. Doesn't even have to be Thanksgiving in October, unless you're wrong.
So, do they put it in the microwave for you, or do you have to do it?
Wow. No. What happens is they bring you food in a place where they probably previously allowed smoking, and it sort of smells like it, and it's delicious.
Still on the walls?
Oh,
It's just on the walls, and
This
there's
place,
all
yeah.
kinds of random hockey stuff, even though it's not a sports bar or restaurant. In fact, they don't serve alcohol.
I don't know what side you called the top of the loaf.
The rounded part.
Okay, you are incorrect.
What the hell's the top of the loaf then? The butt
Where you pull out the bread.
that's on the side.
Yeah, that's the top.
Jesse, when you put your bread away,
Yes.
do you
I stand it up. if
Yeah,
that's what
you
you're
do?
gonna ask. Yeah, every time. I actually have a separate container in my house for my bread.
and it's labeled like top.
Yes, it says top only.
Okay, good.
All right.
great.
Glad that we came to that.
All right.
Do we have
So-
any hockey related questions?
I think
or-
it's all right that we have a difference of opinion.
I don't.
You're right.
hockey related stuff?
his middle finger.
Anything?
How many current Maple Leafs could make an Olympic roster in 2022? That's from Clunky_25.
I'm going to say Matthews, Nylander, Marner. Maybe Morgan
Matthews-
Riley.
Maybe stacked.
Matthews, Nylander, certainly. Marner is going to have a really hard time making Canada,
Yeah.
especially because like they typically just go, "Do you play center? No, you don't. You're wing now."
Yeah. Morgan Riley, maybe,
Morgan Riley, maybe.
but he might be too old.
No,
I'm kidding.
2020.
He'll be what, 28?
Actually, yeah,
prime.
there might be enough young Canadian defensemen.
He'll be 27
Yeah, 27, 28. He'll
27,
be fine.
28, yeah,
but
sorry.
Freddie Anderson, for sure.
if Denmark qualifies.
Sure.
Or Team World. Maybe they just adopt the World Cup thing. I listened to that rant again the other day. I was a little fired up. I was a little jacked. The other
who
day.
else would
I
be-
mean, several hours ago.
Who else would be there? Andreas Janssen, maybe? Maybe. Carl Grundstrom has
that'd
played
be-
national games for them? Maybe.
That'd be wonderful. Curtis McElhaney.
It depends. Well, it just depends on how deep Sweden is at that point, and I have a feeling they'll be quite deep.
Is Austin Matthews the first line center for the U.S.?
If it's not Jack Eichel. Is Matthews better than Eichel currently? You know, he probably is.
Ooh.
Does Eichel play on his wing?
Oh,
Does
my
Matthews
God.
play on Eichel's wing?
Are the States getting better?
Yes.
I feel like they
Yes,
are.
I think they
yeah.
are.
Yes.
They had a bad dip there, but I think they're getting better.
Yeah.
Canada had a dip like that too. It happens.
Yeah. It wasn't much of a dip.
No, but they did.
It's a 2-second dip. Yeah, no, the States for a while, you're like, yeah, they kind of stink. And now they're crazy again. Yeah, that team's going to have like, and they're going to be peaking right around the same time too. You're going to have Matthews, Eichel, Werenski.
And then Gary Bettman will be like, "Sorry, you can't go."
Yeah. Isn't Hellebuck American? There's some crazy American goalies too.
John Gibson, American.
I don't remember.
he is. I don't know.
He was on Team North
Yeah.
America, which means nothing.
Connor Hellebuck is from Michigan.
Hey,
Robin Leonard.
Robin Liner. Yeah, now we're getting away from it. Leafs.
Yeah. John Gibson's from Pittsburgh.
Nice.
We've never had this problem. Leafs. Let's focus. Matthews, Nylander, Marner's a maybe. So Matthews,
Yeah.
Nylander's for certain. Kapanen might make Finland.
Yeah, I can see that.
I 100% think you will.
Yeah. Riley might make Canada. That
Still
one's
tough.
going to be tough.
He's being tough. If Denmark makes it, Freddie.
Yeah. Gardner might be too old for the States and also too not good enough. Sorry, too dry.
He'd probably made it this year, don't you think?
If there was a team, I think he'd be on it.
I think he'd have been on it because I think they would have been a little thin on defense.
At very least the 7th, yeah. I'm like, I can't even think of who would have made the team. Marlowe will be retired. Kadri's not going to make Canada. Who else is on this team?
Well, the rest of it we just don't know. Like I said, Janssen, Grunstrom, we don't know. We don't know what they're going to be.
I mean, okay, well, if we're doing you don't know, Liljegren might make Sweden. I don't know.
If Liljegren develops into a top 4 defenseman, a la Travis Dermott, on his trajectory, not hard to see him on Team Sweden.
Other than the fact that Team Sweden is just a friggin' defenseman factory
crazy,
right now.
Yeah, Hedman and
we forgot
Dahlin and
Zaitsev on Russia.
Yeah, they're pretty thin on D.
JVR on the U.S.
Well, he's not
at that
Leaf.
point, though?
How many current Leafs? He is technically a current Leaf.
Yeah, until June 30th.
How many Leafs today? Okay, well, fine. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Is it? Have you already mentally moved on? Like, have you?
From JVR?
JVR is not a Leaf anymore.
Yeah, he's not.
You guys are done with that?
Yeah,
Bozak too? Bozy?
To me, Bozak and Komarov actually both might be, but probably not.
I don't think they're coming
Probably
back.
not. But JVR have completely mentally moved on. He's not even a Leaf anymore.
Interesting.
It just doesn't make sense. Why would he be a Leaf?
Yeah, and it's not anything against him. And when he posted his little Toronto I love you thing, I was like, oh, cute. I'm going to miss you. But that was the thing. At the end of it, there was I'm going to miss you.
He's earned his fabulously wealthy contract, and he deserves it.
Yep.
Whoever gives it to him, he deserves it.
Yep. And also, it's going to be bad at the end. But
Most are.
sorry.
Most
Wonder
are.
if he signs a shorter, more expensive deal. Probably not.
Wondered about that. Is there a benefit to that? Like, if John Tavares signs for $15 million for 1 year somewhere, even if he gets injured, he's still got $15 million.
Yeah, like John Tavares doesn't have to
Or
worry.
you can get 80
or
80 or 90.
Yeah, I always make this argument. It doesn't make sense.
like, dude, Matthews is going to.
And he's not like Ray Allen at the end of his career signing with the Heat. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Who signed for like league minimum, so he could play with LeBron and get the ring that he got.
Yeah.
Elite athletes aren't regular rich anymore. Like, I feel like Brian Marchment, I'm pretty sure. Like, what did he make over his career? Who knows? 5, 10 million, something like that. Like, he's got a really nice house in, I think, Uxbridge. You know? Like, he's got, I don't know, it's probably like a $1 million home, something like that. Austin Matthews, when it's all said and done, is going to have made over $100 million.
Yeah.
When you think about it, like, okay.
Well, think about what Lou Lamoriello would have started out making as a manager and what he probably makes now. Lou Lamoriello, I would imagine, has made between, and this is a big between, but $30 and $50 million. I don't know over the course of his career, 100%.
That's tough because his career's been so long.
Yeah, that's why I think it's been that high.
Yeah,
but like Mike Babcock,
what was his first NHL salary versus what it is currently?
it would be in the early 100,000s.
What did you make at the zoo?
That's what Lou made in Jersey in '88. When they were the Mickey Mouse Christmas jerseys.
I think I started at like, I don't know, $8 or $9 an hour.
That's actually pretty high for back then. Minimum wage was $6.40, and that's what I was making.
Trying to remember. No, minimum
$6.40 when I started at Shoppers Drug Mart, and then it
minimum
moved up to
wage
$7 something.
when I started at McDonald's was $7.10, and I remember they had this when I was going through orientation. They go, we're happy to announce that McDonald's is no longer a minimum wage employer, and I was like, sweet. You'll be making $7.15 an hour. And like, dude, in orientation, I was like, I already hate this job. I was like, wow.
Yeah, you weren't meant for McDonald's.
I haven't even worked my first shift, and screw you guys.
Do you want another question?
Yeah, well, give me another one.
Because the most talked about thing out of last episode, I don't know if you guys know.
Oh, God, it's
was
the fucking Marvel thing.
Adam, you know?
Jesus.
Adam
People are like, hey, I
Wild's
really like you, but
takes.
your opinions are trash.
Let's not focus on what Adam got wrong. Let's focus on I was right about the Hulk.
The thing is,
I was right about those movies I haven't even seen.
No, really? Oh. What?
it was his opinion on the movies. It wasn't.
I didn't
there are
personally
no
like
facts.
them.
No.
There are no facts involved here, people.
Yes, there are.
If one person says they don't like something, it doesn't mean that it's terrible or it's good. I've never seen these movies, so I'm just speaking from the opinion of, hey, if somebody likes something, you don't have to run down their throat. if they don't like it, same thing.
What did
Anyways,
you say was bad?
So
I thought the Winter Soldier was dry. I didn't think it was as exciting as everybody thought it was, and I actually think
Didn't most people say that?
No, I don't think
no. So
I
the
thought that was
Reddit
the
question
critical
is
acclaim.
why is from Don't Be Sod, like Brendan, like Sod, 1998. He said, "Why is Adam not getting enough that's on his Marvel movie takes?" Well, that's not even a
But
question.
to answer your question,
Pretty
he
sure.
is.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
I
he
saw
got it.
Look at my mentions, people.
Yeah,
Come on.
it said pretty sure it bothered 99% of people listening, and that seems to be true.
Well, okay.
So Adam, the floor is yours.
So my question is, okay, is it if it's for you, if it's a truly compelling storyline, then who am I to say? I just didn't like them. I didn't think it was very good. And I didn't think Star Wars: The Last Jedi was very good. And I am the biggest Star Wars fan you'll ever meet. But I just didn't like it. I looked at it and I thought that was wildly disappointing. I got all excited for nothing. And I felt like when I was watching, because I bought on Rogers On Demand, I got all the Marvel movies that I haven't seen yet. Sorry, yeah. And I was watching, so I watched
All three of us got it wrong differently.
Yes. I watched the Civil War one, and then I was trying to watch Spider-Man, and I'm sitting there going, this is just not good. Like Iron Man, the original Iron Man was funny, it moved, there was great humor in it. Spider-Man should be the same thing. It should be funny and cute and innocent and that sort of thing, and also great villain at the end. And I haven't seen the full Spider-Man, so I can't really fully say. But I feel like Marvel took a dip. I feel like they didn't have the tightest movies they possibly could have had from a content perspective because they were producing so many. And I know they had to get a lot of stories out. But man, there are some spots where you're like, what's happening here? Like Iron Man 3 with the Mandarin? Like, what is that?
I don't even know what you're talking
about. There's
like the restaurant?
No, there's a character called
They
the
went for
Mandarin.
all you can eat?
And they made, he's a Chinese villain. But China, believe it or not, funded a lot about that movie, apparently. And so they didn't want him to be the villain. They didn't want a Chinese guy to be the villain because it wouldn't sell well in China. So they made it into this other guy who's pretending to be Chinese and like he's acting, and it's like it's such a weird, like there is some weird stuff that happens, man. And so I'm just not crazy about the movies. I don't know.
Thanks, by the way, to everyone who sent me like 10, 15-minute videos who are like, here's all 18 movies so that you can go see Infinity
cool.
War. Yeah, a bunch of people sent me
Because I hear
there's more
Infinity
than
War
one.
is genuinely great.
Yeah.
Of course.
So I want to see it, and I want to be up on the storylines. I just think the storylines leading in could have been better. Don't tell me about Guardians of the Galaxy.
How
2. It was
recently did you
garbage.
see those movies?
I started watching some of them Friday night because we talked about it on
yeah,
Thursday. I'm
okay.
like, I better catch up on the ones I haven't seen.
Yeah.
And I did not. I just was like, okay.
I was thinking about this on the way in, and like I was thinking about like a certain artist. I don't even remember who I was thinking about, and someone trying to explain, no, they're good, and here's why. Like movies and music,
Pretty subjective.
yeah,
man.
it's not the sort of thing you can explain into being good.
Mm-hmm.
There
There are people who enjoy the music of Maroon 5, genuinely, who think it's deep and it touches them. I don't know how that's possible at this point.
I really like what was it, Songs for Jane or by Jane?
The original one,
Yeah, but I was in high
15
school.
years ago. Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Every
don't know, I
song
liked it
since
at the
then has
time.
been, hey, we know this will get on the radio.
Yeah, they make music for the radio, not music that's good, and because it's good, it gets on the radio. They make music for the radio. No, I remember getting into a debate with a friend over the movie This Is 40, and I was just like, it's the closest I've ever been to walking out of a movie theater, like a movie that I paid to see and like asking for my money back.
See, I
It
heard
was
from somebody this weekend who loved it.
It was a big old pile of shite, and someone tried to explain why it wasn't. Now, I went into the movie wanting a comedy.
Because it's a Judd
Like a
Apatow.
ha-ha Judd Apatow comedy, which is 100,000% how it was marketed. And I went in there, and I was more stressed out leaving the theater than I walked in. Because it's not a comedy at all.
Isn't it about a relationship breaking down somewhat? Or
It's
just being old?
it's the most depressing thing I've ever freaking seen.
Is this in theaters now?
No,
No,
it's
this is
couple
a few
old.
years ago.
Oh.
And he's trying to explain
Not
it
a
into
movie guy.
being good to me, and I'm like, dude, it stunk. I went in expecting one thing because of the way the movie told me I should feel about it going into it, and it was shit. I didn't like it. Don't bully me into thinking the movie's good.
Yeah, but you're dealing with comic book nerds here, man.
Yeah. Well, this is very different.
And I say that being one. I didn't like it. I don't like them. I liked some things. I've not been blown away by everything. Okay,
And
is that fair to say?
Everybody telling you that you're wrong hasn't changed your mind.
No. Hey, I like the Leafs. Do I like everything the Leafs do? Absolutely not. We have a show of criticizing about things that the Leafs do, even when they win.
What's the name of the other guy from Step Brothers? It's Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly?
Yes.
Okay, so imagine if Step Brothers was more about talking about their feelings and how, you know what, guys, we're 40 and we live with our parents. You know, we should maybe be... and they get into like some huge blow-ups and their fights are serious and it's not rubbing their balls on the drum set and doing karate in the garage. Right?
That's what
the way it was marketed.
Like? That's what This Is 40 was like.
100%. 100%.
Nobody rubbed their balls on drums games?
Not in This Is 40.
That's too bad.
Unfortunately, it starts funny too. The first scene is really funny. It's a huge... Someone go watch the trailer and then watch the movie. Tell me it's the same thing.
I bet you're going to get so many people going, hot take, Steve Dangle. That was a great movie.
Go ahead. Be mad at me.
You're not
all
really,
you need to.
Can I be honest
it's a
with
bad
you?
movie.
That movie didn't do well. Most people feel that way. That's not really taking a stand. That's like... Gigli was really not a great movie. Ooh, bold take.
Yeah.
No, but like most people went to that movie feeling the exact same way and being disappointed.
Because movies, everyone has the friend who sees movies right away, right? Then sometimes you go, okay, this movie looked really good, and you go see it right away because of the marketing or whatever. But most of the time, it's a few friends in a larger group who go, you gotta see this. And that was a movie that everyone went into it thinking a certain thing, and they were disappointed. And, hey, should I go see This Is 40? No, because it's not a comedy at all. And they might have said, you know what? It might be good as a serious movie that's like a sort of dark comedy. It wasn't a comedy at all. It was shite.
Okay, so here's my question then. What thing that everybody likes are you willing to say, because you've
is objectively bad?
Is
Peppers.
objectively bad. Peppers.
Bell peppers.
Other than peppers.
Got to give me a minute to think about that one.
Jesse, do you have one?
No, not really. I like what I like and I hate what I hate.
No, but like, is there something that you do not get why people really like that?
I think it's different today because on Twitter or
You can
whatever,
find somebody who likes everything.
Yeah.
No, but you can also find someone who hates everything.
Yeah.
So you can feel camaraderie and, yeah, we all hate this movie. Fuck this movie, yeah. And then, I don't know, because it's an echo chamber, you feel like everyone hates this movie now.
I just think it's interesting.
Uh-oh.
I just want to know what you see in these Marvel movies that you don't enjoy that everyone else is missing. Because if 90, like that's the most thing we got response from last episode. And if so many people are coming at you being like, you're wrong, what are you seeing that everyone else isn't seeing?
It's what I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing a tight enough storyline. I'm not seeing a story that moves fast enough. And I'm seeing cheap jokes. And quite frankly, there's so many characters, and I understand that's part of the universe, but it's hard to feel anything for them when they're there for 3 seconds. And so, you know, I know that there are people who read all the comic books or whatever. I did not read all the comic books. So people will say, well, then you don't understand. They're making the movie for both of us here. They're making the movie for the guy who understands and the guy who doesn't. So
I've gone and seen comic book movies with Justin Fisher, and he's trying to explain everything that I need to know before the movie, and then the movie starts and he's not quite done, and he's explaining into the movie, and I'm like, I'd rather just be at your apartment, like with a pizza, listening to you explain everything.
So maybe it might be that. I don't know. I just don't think, I thought some of the movies were a little sloppy. I don't know. I thought Leo Komarov had some sloppy plays this season. Still like Leo, still like the Leafs. Still like Marvel. Still think they had some sloppy movies.
Are you going to watch Infinity War?
Hell yeah. I'm still trying to catch up. I got to catch the end of Spider-Man, and then I still have to see Black Panther. And I hear Black Panther's outstanding.
It is
so
really
I'm
good.
very excited.
And they
about
all
that.
tie in the movie. In the Infinity War,
Yeah.
I think you like comic books too much to enjoy these movies.
He's not a comic book guy.
You're not,
Not
a comic
really.
book?
Not
No,
really. I've
but
read
you,
some,
but you
but-
like the characters, though.
Sure.
I think you're more informed on those characters than the average viewer. I think.
Sure.
Okay.
And because of like you're like, oh, I want to feel something for these guys. I
Yeah.
wanna be
Yeah.
connected.
I do want to feel something.
Like, okay, I hated the first Transformers.
See, I loved the first Transformers. I hated the next ones.
What was great was it might have even been you. You were like, look, you got to shut your brain off.
Yes, that was me then.
And I went into the theater, and I remember like sitting in there. I'm like, everyone in this theater is having a great time right now, and I'm not. Like, I'm the fuddy-duddy. So I go into the second one, and I shut my brain off. I go, don't expect to see a plot. Just and all the crazy, get excited at that. And you know what? I enjoyed it.
Wow. And the second one was during the writer strike, so it was bad.
I turned my brain off.
Wow.
You know what? I enjoyed that. You don't expect Daniel Day-Lewis to be in any Transformers movies. You know what I mean?
Mark Wahlberg is now. I just saw the most recent one, I think, a few years ago, and they bring in the Dinobots, and it's just... Why are these even here?
Is that what they're called?
They're called Dinobots.
Dinobots?
They ride dinosaurs.
Is that a joke?
So the Transformers get on these dinosaurs, these mechanical dinosaurs.
Oh, the cars are riding the dinosaurs. Cars.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But they're not cars. They're just robots that are wild.
No, the Dinobots.
The Dinobots.
That doesn't sound dumb at all.
It's really dumb. I can't disagree with you. It's like if it's like they're dogs, like they're just wild animals that they tame. And that's the Dinobots are their animals.
They're wild robots.
Yeah.
And cars are riding wild dinosaurs.
Robots. And Mark Wahlberg's in the middle of China going, what do we do? What do we do? And he's getting chased. And
this is in Boston?
Yeah. I wanted to go to the Sox game.
I was just looking for Fenway. That's 90 minutes of Transformers.
Every time something pops off, he's in the middle of a Fenway Frank. He's gonna go and like and like rush into action. Okay, what is a thing I hate that everyone else loves? I don't know. I try not to hate anything too much.
Oh, for God's sakes. You two are the worst.
The New York Yankees.
How do you not have one thing where you're like, I don't get it? I just gave you Maroon 5.
I'm not a big fan of soccer.
Okay.
Like, I'm not the biggest
Lots of people like that?
It's cool, but like I don't really watch soccer.
You don't get it?
I don't.
It doesn't make you feel
that entertaining to me. It's the biggest global. I guess it's the biggest sport in the world, and it's not one of my top 5 sports that I watch.
Fair enough.
There you go,
Steven.
That's my attempt at a hot take.
Okay, this isn't.
It's not a hot take. It's just an opinion.
This isn't great because I really like his latest song, but Bruno Mars, a little bit. Okay, I understand why all of it's good, and it's all catchy. That is the epitome of songs for the radio, to me. Who's passionate about Bruno Mars?
Man,
stadiums full of people.
Until you.
I know.
Until you've seen Bruno Mars live, it's
a great show.
It's one of the most unbelievable experiences you'll ever have.
Well,
and there are a few songs like for me. What really got me on Bruno Mars was "Locked Out of Heaven." I thought that song. I was like, "Holy shit, that's a great song." and I mean, Grenade.
Isn't that he's overplayed?
Yeah, 100%.
Grenade, Adam.
I don't like that song. I never liked that song. And the one that he had with B.O.B. and the
Finesse is great.
Finesse is a
I really
great song.
like Finesse, but I'm just like, it's strange to me to be passionate about Bruno Mars. And it's weird. It's a guy who's like, I like at least half his singles.
Would you find anybody on the street that goes, Bruno Mars is 100% my favorite artist?
There are people like that, I assume.
Yeah.
I've never met one. But he does sell out every show, and he puts on an incredible show. And it's worth going.
This one's kind of old, but Arcade Fire.
Don't get it.
Well, dude, they're... Jesse, are you
Jesse,
getting the
just use your
Windsock?
fingers.
Oh, he's almost got it. He's removing it like with forceps. Kind of like he's pulling out a... Oh, my God. No! Oh, he put it on his tongue! Oh, dude!
All right, so Jesse just pulled the mic sock out of the water bottle and licked it, and it's soaking wet. That is so disgusting.
Okay, Jesse, real quick.
Why, man?
What do you think I had for dinner?
Show's over.
What do you mean the show's over? With that?
Yeah, what else we got to talk about?
I feel like I need to justify Arcade Fire.
You don't.
But everyone's going to get mad.
Yeah, that's my point. Take a fucking risk, you two. No. You guys are like, no, Bruno Mars, no soccer on a hockey show. I'm like, oh, come on.
See, we're not trying to Stephen A. Smith this.
Well,
I just don't have a hot take.
All I'm trying to be is not out here on my own, and you guys are I'm just wafting in the wind here. Just.
I'll let you do that.
Thank you. Thank you, you jerks.
Yeah, the Arcade Fire is fine.
All right. Everybody tweet Adam. His opinions suck ass.
That's all I'm going to get when I get up for BT tomorrow. Your opinions suck ass. Love, Jesse.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Brought to you by Panago Pizza. Order at panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness.